What is up, everybody? How is everyone doing today, man? You already know how it go. It's your boy B back with another video. So, guys, I have a price list update today. Obviously, we do this every single Monday. And today, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it's Monday. Okay, 7:14. Okay, that is not bad. That's a good time because usually I say 7. I'm like, actually talking to my dog. But anyway, guys, so what I want to do is I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this video. We're going to be talking about a bunch of phone models. So first, we're going to start with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, okay? Let me make sure you guys can actually hear me. I can't be too loud. I have one of my kids that is not feeling well. He's sick. So let me see. Let me make sure we're straight, man. Cause y'all gotta, I might have to wake them up so y'all can hear me now. All right, but make sure you guys are smashing that like button as well. And also, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has supported me. Everybody that has watched me, it means a lot to me. Has supported me. Everybody that's watched me means a lot to me. Has supported me. Why it sound like a robot? Why it sound like a robot? Hold up now. 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 Do I sound like a robot to y'all? Wait. Hold on, man. Hold up now. 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 Do I sound like a robot to y'all? Yeah, no. No. All right, let me fix this real quick. Alright, so I got this on. This is really loud, I'm sure. Hold on. Alright, cool. Disconnected and reconnected. We should be good now, man. And we're not. Uh, This ain't one thing, it's another, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. If it ain't one thing, it's another. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get through it. Let me make sure. Hold on. Oh, I hate going live sometimes, y'all. You need to see something. Let me take this off real quick. Mic check 1 2. Okay. Hold up. We getting somewhere. So you got a problem solve with business, man, because it's always something. It's always something. It's always something, bro. All right, let's try this. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. All right, I'm not doing this. All right, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear your boy? All right, can y'all hear me? Yeah, y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear your boy? All right, cool. All right, we just gonna do this, y'all. We just gonna go through this mic, okay? All right, cool. First, I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. Second of all, Sorry for the delay. Let's start by first talking about iPhone 17 Pro Maxes, okay? So what we're going to do is, if you don't know how this usually works, every single week, every single Monday, I break down different phone prices that have changed throughout the week or the weekend, okay? Now, these are the price lists that I get from multiple buyers, but I usually break down the same buyer on a consistent basis because he always seems to have the trends correct, okay? So we're going to start looking right now. So when we look at this price list, we can see the iPhone 17 Pro Max, okay? I'll zoom in for you guys, just for everybody that has phones and cannot see, all right? So we're going to go over what phones are changing. I'll go over some of the newest models. I'll usually go over what phones to buy, what phones not to buy, and then I'll end it off usually with some offers. We'll see if we have enough time. I'm going to try and shoot for making this less than 30 minutes. Making it as fast as possible, right? So the iPhone 17 Pro Max unlocked 256. All the unlocked iPhone 17 Pro Maxes, which you're going to find, they're extremely expensive. And what I tell people all the time is, if you're looking for a device to flip, you do not want to look for the newest phone. As you guys see right now, for A+ grade, these are all used, okay? So we have A+, B+, B, C, and D. A+ is going to be a phone that has a box, and also a phone that is basically brand new. It looks brand new. It doesn't have any blemishes. Usually these devices are going to be the devices that are 30 days old, which, if they are new but 30 days old, they're considered used to some buyers. Now, the B+ is going to be a device that is really good shape, like basically brand new but no box. That's the difference. A+ and B+. A+ box, B+ no box. Both phones, devices are basically untouched. They look really well, okay? Now, B grade, that is going to be the device that most of us are actually going to be providing buyers. These are going to be the devices that they have a little wear and tear. They got a little scratch here, there, no cracks, obviously. C grade is going to be a phone that has rough damage, dents, or cracks, okay, or a crack, but not cracks on both the back and the front, okay. Now, CB is going to be a device that usually has a back crack, okay. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max is, as you guys see, very, very high pricing. Now, the reason these are high price is because obviously these are phones that a lot of people are looking to make money and also buy overseas, right? So they have consumers that are buying these phones for overpriced amounts because they can't get their hands on them. So, prime example, if I was to go ahead and sell this device in Trinidad, right? Trinidad, they're probably willing to pay way more in their currency than what the phone is being sold for in the United States. So that's why these phones are usually going to be sold for a higher amount. Okay. Well, let's look at the 17 Pro. We got 740 for A+ unlocked, and then we have 660 for A+ locked. But I really want to start focusing just on the B grade, because if you find somebody that's selling an iPhone 17 Pro that's used, but it is a regular phone, you know, it's used as far as it has some scuffles, or the screen isn't flawless, well, you can actually get $640 with this buyer, or you can get $560 if it's a locked device, right? Now, if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't really see the purpose of paying $500 only to sell it for $560, because if I'm paying $500, honestly, I know for a fact that that device is not going to be worth selling it to a buyer. Instead, I probably would sell it to a consumer. If I kick out $500 for a phone, I'm going to want more in return. I'm going to want maybe $150, because $500 is a lot to put out. And the way I explain this to people is like, think about you doing a parlay on FanDuel or DraftKings. If you're betting on the Eagles, right, and they say, oh, well, if the Eagles win this game, we'll pay you $10, but you have to bet $100, that would make sense. Versus, oh, bet $5 and we'll give you $55, right? That's going to be a more favorable bet. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to flipping phones. Then you have the iPhone 17 Air. So the iPhone 17 Air is going to be a device that obviously, and I say this all the time, it's good price wise, right? Like when you look at it to the naked eye, this looks like a device that you should definitely flip. This looks like a phone that is achievable, right? But the problem is that a lot of the times you're going to find that this phone is nowhere to be found, right? So let me show you guys, right? If we go to offer up right here, you can go to offer up, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to find the iPhone Air, the iPhone 17 Air, right? You barely find it because nobody's really trying to sell it. Like, look at this. This is probably from 4 months ago, right? That's insane. All right. Nobody is getting that device. Therefore, you should not flip this phone. Okay. This is going to be one of those phones we say you should not flip. Okay. At all. All right. At all. This phone will leave you in the red. Okay. The iPhone 17 Air is not going to be a device that we're even going to touch. Now, the iPhone 17, though, this is a device that honestly a lot of people are getting trapped into either buying or losing money not selling. And I'll make that make sense in 1 second. So I have people that sell me phones all the time, right? And 9 times out of 10, they're selling me iPhone 17s. Why? Because in their head, they think that the 17s are going to be worth more money. They think the 17s are what people like myself want. But in reality, we don't. We rather have an iPhone 15 Pro or an iPhone 16 Pro, right? Like, I'd rather buy a phone that's going to be older but hold more value while I can also profit more and spend less. Well, this phone, you're almost going to be spending around $400 to $500, and you're only going to be flipping it for $30 to $60. That's not good profit. Now, I'm going to tell you guys my rule of thumb. If you're paying over $500 for the device, leave it alone. If you're paying over $400 for that device, well, that device may be a device you should get, but I probably would sell it to a consumer over a buyer, because if the buyer's only paying me $430, that would mean, if I did the calculations, right? And we can actually do a calculations on this because it's really important for you guys to know, right? If the buyer is, let's say, trying to pay me $430, if I subtract this and I go, okay, well, I'm going to source this phone and I want to make a $50 profit, that means $380 would be my offer amount. I only can offer $380. But if I go over to offer up, which is something I use to buy phones, right? If I look at iPhone 17, right? Boom, iPhone 17 unlocked, they want $700. iPhone 17, I'm sure this is locked to T-Mobile. Yep. Look, iPhone 17, $750. This is completely out of the range of $380. I can't beat that. I cannot commit to spending $700 to make $50, right? But also, it won't make sense to Sam K for him to take a $380 offer, right? Because right now, the market is so flooded that people don't actually realistically understand what devices are actually worth. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to be really, really careful when you're making these offers, okay? That is very important, all right? Now, when it comes to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, again, a phone I would not recommend you guys to buy. And mainly the reason is because these devices are not going to bring you the value that we all feel or the other person feels is going to be worth. I don't know, y'all. Like, my stuff is just not working today. Like, this is pissing me off. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to get this back up and running. I don't know why my stuff ain't working right now. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to still talk while I fix the camera, I guess. But so that's the reason why we don't really want to even try to dibble and dabble in the 16 Pro Max. But the 16 Pro is a little bit different, right? So when we look at the 16 Pro, we can actually see that the 16 Pro probably would give us flexibility. And what I mean by flexibility is the 16 Pro is going to allow us to spend less money when we talk about locked rather than more when we talked about unlocked, excuse me. So what I mean by that is, guess what? If you go ahead and buy a device that is a 16 Pro locked, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, especially if you can get them to come down on the price. And if we look on OfferUp, you're going to see that the pricing is actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay. And we'll look at it. All right. We'll look at it. I'm back. All right. So if we go ahead and we look at the iPhone 16 Pro, right? iPhone 16 Pro, right? Oops. Now I want to look at it on OfferUp. Matter of fact, I'm not going to do it. Don't ever gauge your prices off of, anything really but a site that you know you can actually go to somebody and buy the phone. So look at this. So the 16 Pro, You see people want 800. But then you see little outliers like this. Now, why do you think this phone is actually 350 16 days ago? Well, it's probably because this person already understands the market, even though you have some people that are price gouging and really just out of freaking pocket, right? You are going to find some devices that are going to be realistic, okay? And that's how it always works when you have a buyer's price list that has the correct amount that the devices are worth. All right, iPhone 16 Plus I wouldn't touch, because this device, yes, it is cheap, but if you go look at it on OfferUp, you'll see that you cannot find that device 9 times out of 10. Look, iPhone 16 Plus, right? You will find it, but guess what? Very few. And also when you do, they want 400, 565. This is absolutely insane. I wouldn't even touch these devices if I could. And if I could, I wouldn't even want to buy it, because they don't buy, they don't really sell, nor do people buy them when it comes to just the consumer base. Okay. Now, when it comes to the iPhone 16 Unlocked, the iPhone 16 Unlocked is a phone I would buy. So we're going to put that in the buy category. Now, the reason I would buy the iPhone 16 is because this phone is very, very cheap and it sells high. So I know that a lot of people, they watch me, and it's really, really, it could be motivating, or it could be a decelerator when I talk about, yo, let's go and let's talk about how I brought 5 iPhone 16s and made X amount, right? Well, you have to look at it like this. Everybody sources phones differently. Okay, everybody. Some people source phones, and when they source them, they're getting these devices from a bunch of different ways, right? And I'm one of them. I get my devices from people. I get my devices from online. But when you find a way to get the device, whether it's on Facebook or OfferUp, you have to know when to sell it to a buyer and when to sell it to a consumer. If I have a person coming to the store and they say, yo, I got an iPhone 16, how much can you give me? I'm going to lowball him. But I know if I lowball him, I can go ahead and flip that and sell it right to the next customer that walks in the door. But if I know that I'm buying this phone close to what the market value is, I know that I have 2 options now. I can, if I bought the phone for like 200 and it's an iPhone 16 locked, I can literally go and say, all right, I bought that thing for 200. The buyer only going to pay me 220. Well, at least I know I'll make $20 profit, but I'm going to try to sell this to a consumer. So I'll let that thing sit on OfferUp or on Facebook while I am buying more phones. And then by the end of the week, I'll go ahead and sell it to the buyer if it doesn't move. But if it does move, I'll just leave it there and let it be. You know what I mean? So it's just all about understanding when to actually sell the phones to who. But an iPhone 16 is a definite buy, sell it to consumers. And then if you guys want to know even more and why I'm saying that, if you look up iPhone 16s in your area, right, you'll see a bunch, right? But here's the beautiful part, is if I buy this iPhone 16 128 from this customer or this person right here, this Verizon, right, I know for a fact that the buyer is only going to pay me, because it's locked, the buyer only going to pay me $220. Right, so I can go to this seller and be like, "Yo, listen, I could do it right now. Watch, it did it 2 hours ago. Oh, I forgot that I hold on, y'all. I forgot that I logged out of everything. I don't even remember what the heck. I gotta make sure, and what I'm trying to show to you guys, 1 second, is when you're messaging people and talking to them. Oh my God, let me figure out what this damn login is. When you're messaging people and talking to them, if I know for a fact I'm only getting paid $220 with the buyer, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and finesse the system to actually buying it for probably, if I know I'm getting paid $220. I'll buy the phone for like $180, $195, and you see how that's not no profit, right? Well, I'm only buying it with the intentions of selling it to someone. not selling it to the buyer. But I use the buyer as a backup plan. So like that's why I love buying cheaper phones, because when you buy these cheap, low costing devices, you're always going to come off on top. Always. You're always coming up on top. Okay. Let me see. I don't remember this dang password though. I have a bunch of offer-ups, by the way. A bunch. Because you got to remember, my offer-ups, guys, they're all depending on the store or my personal use. So I'll be like, I'll say, I can do 185. Okay. This is still on a account, right? And I guarantee you it is. And some people be like, well, Brandon, it's not on an account. It's a cheap phone. They probably paid it off. Well, here's the thing. They probably paid it off or didn't pay it off, but they probably got this on a promotion. So if it's on a promotion with Verizon, it got to stay on that account. Then they give us the IMEI. So like if we really wanted to, we can go ahead and we can look up the IMEI. Now, speaking of IMEIs, which we could do, right? We can look up the IMEI, and the thing about the IMEIs is that I love to use SickW to do my IMEI searches, because it makes it more beneficial and I get way more information. So that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to okay, there we go. We're actually going to look at this IMEI. Let's actually do this. I want to log in. So if you don't know, I use SickW. SickW is one of those platforms that you could actually use to get and unlock devices. So we're going to go ahead and type this. And as you see, it does charge you. And that's okay, because I never knew that paying for IMEI searches would change my life, but they do. SickW has stopped me from buying phones that weren't going to be profitable, that were locked, that had things that I didn't or wasn't told. Look at this. So iPhone 16 white 128, what you want to do is you want to make sure when you do the IMEI search, you want to make sure it just adds up, right? So yes, white 128, he actually has the box too. That's good. Then it says estimated purchase date 2/25/12/26. You know what that means? That means this device is fairly new. It is January 19th. This is a new device. This right here is a new device. That's interesting to me. And then you want to know what I would look at too? iCloud lock off. This person is selling a new device. This device is really, really good. This is a good device. I actually would probably buy this device for $200 or $250. I probably would. And I would probably sell this, John. I probably would sell this to a person. To be completely real with y'all, I probably would sell this to a person. This seems to be a phone that's fairly new, a phone that was just purchased, a phone that doesn't have any iCloud, it's not a loaner or any of that. Now, I will say this though. You see how now that I've seen this, it says the estimated purchase date was a few days ago, right? Or maybe 2 weeks ago. I know for a fact that this is on an installment. So if this phone is on an installment, I know for a fact that I can get this phone for cheap. Like, bro, this phone not even paid off, Brody. So like, if it's not paid off, I don't care. But you got to understand that it's going to take me some bread to get this off. So I can't give you all of the money up front. I have to actually put some money into this phone. So I'll give you $200 and then I'll unlock it on the back end. Will you take that? Like, you got to be able to paint that picture for the customer, for them to know, like, damn, all right, since it's on an account, locked, has the EID on a different account, I got to pay for that. And we don't even really got to do it, because we're going to sell this to a buyer, or we're going to sell this to a consumer that we're going to go to Verizon, and they're going to go put this on another account regardless. But we can create that lie to get that deduction so that we at the end of the day come out winning. Okay, that's our goal. That's our goal. All right, what's next? The 16E. 16E. So we already said the iPhone 16 is a phone to buy. The iPhone 16 Air is a no-go. The iPhone 16E, no-go. It's way too cheap. People don't want it. It's not even a phone worth talking about. This device is completely useless. Okay. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, so the buyer's paying $490 for A plus, but we're just going to focus on B grade. Okay. So for the B grade, It looks like they are paying $430. Now, $430 unlocked and locked, they're paying $410. Now, that's a $20 difference. So when you see a $20 difference on devices that are used, whether it's locked or unlocked, but it's only $20 difference, those are phones that you know for a fact are not being sold for a high amount overseas. Because usually you'll see things like this would probably be like 500, and then the locked version would be like 420, 410, right? So now that I know that this isn't selling well, I would not buy this. I wouldn't buy this even though they're saying that, oh yeah, we'll pay you 400, because I guarantee you in the market right now, people are still looking at this device as if it is a valuable device. So that's important. So here we go. This is the 600. We got 700. You see the pricing, and the price is actually insane. My son is talking back right now, so I'm just listening. Don't have kids, but the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you see is 600, right? But look at this right here. iPhone 15 Pro Max unlocked, iPhone 15 Pro Max unlocked, 450, 400 range. But when we look at the market value, that's insane. Like, it's a complete difference. And I think that that's where you got to start analyzing and realizing this phone ain't worth nothing, because for the amount we paid for this, we could literally get an iPhone 16 Pro Max. You know what I mean? So an iPhone 15 Pro Max is going to be on a no-go list. The iPhone 15 Pro, though, we would definitely get. Look at the difference. You see how this was, what, $20? This right here, though, $350, $350 difference. I know for a fact that I could actually get this for probably $300 unlocked and $250 locked, which would essentially make me more money. And also, I have the flexibility of selling this to a consumer or a buyer. So we're good. Now the iPhone 15 Plus unlocked, we don't even need to talk about, like, at all, right? Like, I'm not talking about that, because I already see off the rip that phone is not worth nothing to buyers, and it's not worth nothing to me. I want to show you guys something. We just got a message, and you guys are going to get these type of messages. So I'd rather do this right here. Okay. So first, I want to go over how we're negotiating this. Okay. Understand that people are always going to try and compare your offer to others, whether it's a person, an eco machine, all of these things this person is talking about, but he's not talking about how he actually can't do it. He's literally talking about, I can sell this to Eco Machine for $200 and a GameStop for $246. Okay. For both of those methods, rushes, and I don't usually do any talking, but for both of those methods, you need a check the phone status and account, and if it is on a payment agreement, we'll say, because I don't want to give up if it's a lease or not. I don't really care. Payment agreement. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna respond back. So we got him to 200, and that's fine. We'll get this phone for 200. We'll sell it for 250, 300, right? But the point of the matter is I want to actually get it for the price that I want. I don't ever want to concede to someone else's price, because I don't know if this will be a customer I deal with in the future. So he just saw that, and I get what he's saying, but an Eco Machine, they want your ID. A lot of these people don't want to give their IDs. Another thing, GameStop, they check as well your ID and also the account. While yes, you can do that, GameStop has had very bad success buying phones. They started buying phones, I believe, like 2 years ago, and people thought it was over for resellers. And I kept telling people, GameStop isn't stopping nothing. GameStop is not stopping anything. GameStop is not going to have the top offers. GameStop is just trying to save their business. But they have different regulations and restrictions they have to abide by. This person is capping. See, he didn't think I was this smart. So now he's seen it. He's going to sit there, try to come with a rebuttal. I'm not going to pay it any mind. I'm going to leave this on scene all night until he comes back and says, do you still want it? I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Great phone. I just don't want to buy it for that price. And I have every right to feel that way. All right. So let's talk about the phones that you should buy. The iPhone 15 is a device you should buy because this is another device that is a low ticket device for you to acquire, but you can also sell this for a good amount. Okay. So also, I think that a lot of us have to look at it like this, right? Watch this. He responded. But before I get to him, an iPhone 15 in general, buy it. It doesn't matter if the device is old, guys. Because I just want to make that clear. A lot of people, oh my God, I don't want to buy too old of a device. Just don't buy anything under an iPhone 13 and you straight. But the iPhone 15, buy. iPhone 14, buy. Don't buy an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Buy an iPhone 14 Pro. Look at the pricing, and I'm telling you guys, it all makes sense. I want to hop into the negotiation aspect of this, so I'm going to try to fly past this. We're going to go live tomorrow and talk about iCloud lock phones, iPads, and MacBooks. I'm just going to do locked and unlocked phones tonight. But one of the biggest things I want you guys to look at, the phones to buy right now: iPhone 13 Pro Max, iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 15, iPhone 16, sometimes iPhone 17s. Phones not to buy: the iPhone 17 Pro Max, iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Air, iPhone 17, iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay. Now, before we end the video, because I'm almost at the 30-minute mark, what I want to do is I want to actually talk about this negotiation. And I'll probably go live and talk more about it. But I said, okay, for both of those methods, they check phone statuses. And if it's on a payment agreement, he said, okay, I hear you. Not arguing. But either way, bro, they'll pay that for my phone. So again, if you don't have at least $200, I can't help you. There is no argument there. Watch what I'm going to say. There is no argument. Should I say that? Yeah. Because, yeah, there's no argument. I think what you guys have to understand with these type of deals, he's right. For him to go and take $185 for an iPhone 16, he would have to concede and feel like crap. In these type of instances, it is okay for us to go up to meet a person at a price point that makes sense. Remember, the buyer said that they'll buy this phone for $220, but this phone has a box. This phone is a couple weeks old. So this phone is actually what? What is it? It's actually new. So even if we don't even consider it new, we can say it's an A+ grade, which means if this is an A+ grade, we'll get $260 right here. Okay? Because it has the box and hopefully it's good condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, no argument. You are right. 200 isn't a bad price. What? That's it. And then what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to close the deal. After this, I'm going to close the deal. Because I already know I'm going to get $260 from this. This person already knows that I have some type of knowledge, right? He knows that I know what the hell I'm talking about. So I don't think he's going to try to play with me. All right. And then after this, I will give him my number. We'll meet at an address and then I'll buy the phone. All right. So again, guys, those are the things that, I try to, and I'm going to make a video on it, but like I try to make it make sense for the person selling me the phone, because you never want to buy a phone from somebody that feels like they got. You never. You want them to feel like they're winning. Okay. Now, if you guys want this price list, okay, we have a phone flip and buyers price list. It has 50 buyers. Definitely go ahead, consider getting this. Everybody that gets the price list from now until the end of the month gets access to my community. And if you don't know what my community is something where we're actually going to be able to be working hand in hand together. Okay, so I will be literally working with you. You get unlimited book calls. It is right here. It is Hustle 365. So instead of paying the $27, you will get access to this. This is going to include your price list. It's going to include every single thing plus one-on-one calls. So we can every single morning go and do offers together. There's a bunch of different things students have done with me. I have 5 students currently that every single morning I do offers with on OfferUp over and over again. And they see tremendous results because they actually take this serious. As long as you take this serious, you're going to win. If you don't take it serious, you're going to find yourself quitting, because if you're not being consistent and also pushing yourself hard, you're never going to see the success that you want. Because, see, being complacent and comfortable isn't going to actually help you in the long run, as things always change. Prime example, and this is something I want to talk about, the AirPod Pro Gen 2 clones or the AirPod Maxes, right? Some people, I think they're not understanding. When you're selling clones or any type of rep, and I know this is not phone flipping, this is just in general, I want you to know you got to list on multiple platforms, and you also have to tinker with different type of listings. The same type of listing that works for me on my account that's had a little bit more selling history will be way different than your account that may not have any. There's a bunch of different ways that you can list, you can sell, but you have to know exactly how you're going to put yourself in that position. And sometimes it takes connecting with someone. Get in the mentorship. It's $27, y'all. Get into the community, book a call with me. Let's figure out how to list properly on your account so you could actually make money. Let's not sit there and keep watching Brandon thinking I'm some guru and I just know every single one key fits all scenario. I don't. And this is what I try to tell you guys. I don't know how everything can work for everybody. I speak and tell you guys from my foundation on how you can put it in yours and make it work for you. I never will mislead you guys into thinking that you can be me or I can be you. I can't be you and you can't be me, right? So we have to work as a unit as hustlers and try to make these things come together, but also make sense for each other. So maybe you're listing on Mercari, but you don't have any reviews. Well, your listing isn't going to be approved as easy as somebody that is a top seller on eBay, right? Or Mercari, right? You have to know how and what status your account is at and how you need to build. Don't think just because, Brandon has it listed, that you could just do it. It's a difference. All right, guys, and I'll be covering that tomorrow because I think a lot of people need guidance when it comes to listing these pods, and I'm definitely here to help you guys get that done. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching, man. I really, really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys have any questions, concerns, definitely never hesitate to leave a comment. I love everyone that's watching right now and has watched this whole live. I will be going live every day this week, though. I'm holding myself accountable. Tomorrow, we're going live, and we're talking about reselling, and it's going to be strictly about listing AirPods. That's my goal, okay? And Wednesday, we're going to be talking about phone flipping, but we're going to be talking about how you can phone flip literally without having to, meet up with people, okay? And then Thursday, we'll be talking about eBay automation, and then Friday I don't have anything on the schedule live wise yet. All All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, man. And I'll see you guys in the next video.